Here we go. We are live. I don't know if I would actually be in the frame or not. I kind of like this actually, capturing a little bit of the stuff that's going on. You know what? Let me go camera down here on this one. Can I do that? Is camera off? Do camera down here. I think it's kind of fun. Nah, I'm just going camera off. It's a little bit distracting. Let me see. But yeah, we'll go with that real quickly. So the audio on the background. So welcome. This is a Friday morning. This is Ideas to Reality at the Speed of Thought. How do we start to manage the things that are that we're most passionate about, the things that we're great at, and the things that the world actually needs from us in the moment. So what I'm talking about right here, the world needs from me right now is a walk of my dog. My dog needs to walk. I need the exercise. I am competing on gyroscope to be the step champion, which we'll call it, which is a title that I came up with by myself, and then competing for it by myself. But the step champion on gyroscope, which requires over 20,000 steps every single day. So if we're successful with that count over the last couple of days, we'll see how those numbers start to play out for. How those numbers start to play out for today, especially with today being a rainy day outside, and I've got a big backpack to start to carry. So I'm gonna have to go on a bunch of long walks today between meetings and between some work stuff to make it work. So here's my process in the morning. I start to work with. So I record a clef note in the morning, which is just a brain dump of here's the stuff that we're starting to think about, and here's the stuff that we're starting to work on, and then I go live, and that's what this is right here. This is the live conversation to start to talk about some of the different items. And now, what we'll think about is I'll start to verbalize in this session what we do with this on the back end. So what's nice about this on the back end is we get a transcript, and the transcript can start getting turned into other things on the back end. But the challenge is, as soon as I'm done with this walk, I've got to start going to work, right? I've got to start to do, we'll call it, work stuff, which is high volume processing, either with meetings or behind a computer, which is do some face-to-face serendipitous connections throughout the day today, but most of the stuff is going to be behind a keyboard and behind a computer, which drains energy for me pretty quickly. I can do a good 30 minutes to 2 hours, in one swipe, behind the computer, and then I've got to move around and do some walking. After that, and then going back to some of the computer stuff. So that's the ways that we work get in the way of tapping into our brain and some of the greatest opportunities that we have that we have available to us. So how do we start to? I'm just thinking about it. Actually, I don't know that we're going to be able to stream properly for the event today. So that's what I was thinking about. We'll do a talk along as the event is starting to go on. Got to think about that. I just realized that I wanted to stream a live event for our jam session today, and I'm not sure logistically if I'll be able to do that as easily without having my laptop set up. So we have to think about the best way to make that happen. The best way to make that happen live today to capture the stream live and in the stream along. So to capture live in the moment. So to be able to watch an event together and to be able to share. So I was just doing a brain dump on that, thinking about how logistically it's going to work to do something that I committed to doing. So we'll figure that out on the back end. So so get a transcript on the back end, and then how do we take that transcript and break it down into smaller pieces of micro content that can be usable and available for people, and then how do we distribute the small little sections of those items? How do we distribute the small sections of those items after the fact, right? How do we create stuff? How do we create stuff in long form that's a natural conversation? And then, this one's going way off the rails. So I apologize to everybody who's listening to this. In fact, how do we create stuff, long form conversation, and then break it down into its sections, and then just have the stuff happen in the background and have stuff get actually created and built in the background. And I saw a TED Talk yesterday which talks about an audio computer. It's a device that sits inside, it's an audio interface, a device that sits in your ear, and then allows you to interact with it like you're interacting with a human being, because voice is our most natural way to be able to communicate, right? And then how do we communicate via voice um, in that natural way, and then actually start to kick off some workflows afterwards? So that's what I've been experimenting with quite a bit. I don't do the tool developments, but I use a lot of the tools that are available. And how do we start to kick off workflow from some of these devices? Kick off whatever it is, like the tickets, and start to request work and some of the stuff that we're starting to build on and to create and to create with. So that's what I've been messing around inside of the context of, like, building out some relationship management tools, and all via audio stuff on the walk. Like, I want to have a conversation with my friend Bernie. We've been talking about a couple of different things. I want to share some notes with him later on this morning, and I want that all to start to get captured inside of some sort of workflow and some sort of project on the back end. So like having some of these text chats, like actually going to WhatsApp with some of the different stuff, and moving some of the things in different directions. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go on mute while I walk my dog or my son to the bus, and we'll pick this up. So let's do it. Be back in 2 minutes. Boop, do, 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 do. Hey, just walking my son to the bus, and we'll be here in a second. Hey, Audit, how are you? If you'd like to come on, happy to share a link with you if you'd like to join on and have a little bit of a chat and do a little bit of an interview. I'm just going to be walking my son to the bus, and you're also more than welcome to listen in on it, or anybody else who's listening. I'm going to send the link out. I'm going to walk my son to the bus, and I'll send the link out in a second here if you're interested. All right, let me go. Actually, let me take care of that real quickly here, then we'll get right back into the conversation. Let's get rid of that banner here. Stream info, private chat, guests, invite guests, copy. There we go. Here, let's get this. If you want. Here we go. Let's get back at it here. All right, perfect here. We'll drop off here. Okay, we'll be back, and let's take that banner off here. Here we go. So here is, let's go back and start this over, from scratch here. The, I don't remember what I called this one, but yeah, the process we're going through in the morning to go from an inkling of an idea to something that's actually working. So I started with a tool called Cliff Notes. As I went out for a walk with my dog Blue this morning, I just did a brain dump of like, hey, here's what's top of mind. Here's some of the things that we're thinking about. Oh, let me take that banner off. We are back. Here's some of the stuff that we're thinking about, and here's some of the stuff. Yeah, here's some of the stuff that we're thinking about. And some of the stuff that we want to work with. What Clef Notes does is great. It takes random thoughts and puts it together into a usable, consumable note, which is what you see on the screen right now, which is a summarized note of a different idea, and then immediately I just take the image of that note and then move into StreamYard and start to talk about it. So we go from hey, here's what's top of mind, like a unloading of the brain, get it summarized into a way that can potentially be consumable, and then get onto a live stream and start to talk about it and see if. And that serves a couple of different purposes. Number one, you get a video out there, right? You get a video out there, so you go from your idea to conversation about it. But what it does is talking about it live in front of other people, you start getting feedback from other people. It's like, this is something that's actually interesting to work on. And then it also opens up the opportunity for others to join into the conversation to see how this dovetails with some of the ideas that they're working on. So one of the ones, I went to the dentist yesterday, and I have improved on my flossing, so I'm very happy about that, but still have a ton of work to do around the flossing. So I know a potential product that would be interesting for a lot of people as a consumer would be the like flossing as a service, or coaching around flossing, right? There's a lot of logistics around that. Now, I don't know necessarily how to develop the product around flossing, but it is something that everybody I've talked to gets excited about that right now. If I didn't talk about this on a live, most people wouldn't necessarily know that this is something that I was paying attention to, or something that I cared about, or something that mattered for me. So that is something. So if somebody listens to this and is like, "Poof, that sounds like a great product," or "Hey, that product already exists," or "Here's the challenge, with that," or "Here's something that I want to start to work with you on." And if it doesn't land for somebody else, it's still getting captured inside of the video, and it's getting captured inside of the transcript, right? So it might not be the flossing, might not be the practical application of a service to deal with a particular pain point that people have, but it might dovetail with something else that somebody actually wants to create. But the nice thing is, as soon as I finish up this dog walk, we'll have the video of this that's out live on a whole bunch of different platforms, and then we'll also have the transcript on the back end, and then the transcript can start to listen to later, can share it with other people, can formulate that into new ideas for other future conversations, and then so all of these things start to build on themselves, and we get ideas out into the world that make a difference, right? And so the thing that I've been working on for 15 years, ideas to reality at the speed of thought. We do have thinking is a little bit crazy, right? We have, I think it's like 60,000 thoughts a day, which is a stat that I read once that I've started to quote multiple times that may or may not be correct. And it's very unstructured and disorganized. Voice, we can speak about 300 to 400 words per minute. It's a natural way to be able to communicate. We typically don't run out of things to be able to talk about. So it's a little bit more of a filtered version than the voice piece, and then we can start getting stuff out there. Now the challenge is it's difficult to listen to somebody talking for a longer period of time, especially if you want to start moving it towards creating something new. So the challenge then becomes like, how do you start separating the signal from the noise? And that's where the transcripts can start to surface. Like, here's the key insight here. Here's the thing that actually makes a difference for people. This is the thing that's actually consumable. So we're able to communicate in the way that's the most natural for us, and then people are able to consume on the back end a way that's more natural to them, which might be completely ignoring if it doesn't hit or if it doesn't come across some sort of feeds, all the way through committed partnerships around creating something together that might potentially be meaningful. So I am going to make sure there's no guests in the, yep, no guests in here. Okay, we are going to put this one to bed right now. I'm going to go through a couple of other processes. I'm going to launch Otter right now, and then I'll start a conversation with my coaches, and Otter will help me start to dictate like the actions that we're actually getting completed during the day. One other thing I will put in here is a TED Talk just came out about audio computing and how we're able to have natural conversations to start to create real things out there in the world. So thank you everybody who has listening to this. Again, please ping me on direct message if you'd like to come on live and have a conversation, talk about anything that is potentially meaningful to you. So have a great one, and we'll speak soon.